Yeah, we're good to go, sir. Sir, I think your mic is on mute.
Sorry. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great at your home, and this pandemic has been not so bad for you. I really hope so, and I welcome everyone to this session. So today's session is very interesting, which says this, a post-COVID job scenario. What exactly happening in the industry after the COVID has made everyone's life very difficult. So the major sufferer in this pandemic is one of the categories student. Student has already faced a lot of difficulties. Also, the student who are graduating, they are facing a lot of difficulty getting a job and getting into core sectors or maybe in the industry. So this session will address those students. And if you have any doubt, you can type in the chat box. So I'll be able to take the questions. So probably I'll suggest everyone to drop your questions end of the session so that I'll be able to take those questions, not in the mid of the session actually. So guys, quickly to tell you the why exactly this topic is very important. There is a paradigm shift in the behavior of the recruiter and the potential candidates who are getting into the industries after this pandemic. If you compare it to the pre-pandemic scenario, getting a job and the way companies used to hire candidates has completely changed. There is a huge shift in the motive and in the requirement even. Okay, so there very crucial topic comes, that is skill. So skill, obviously that was always been at the top in getting any job, but after this pandemic, the skill has become very crucial parameter for any fresher to get into any industry. If we talk about not just technology, because I believe most of the students here present may be engineers or related to the technical field. But if you talk about any other field, any field, if you randomly you take any name, their skill has become very crucially important. Why? This work from home culture was not so much widely accepted in India and Indian industries. Like basically, we believe that our Indian mindset is kind of a little orthodox kind of thing, and adaptation to this new work from home was not so accessible or acceptable into the industries. But this pandemic has made us realize that work from home is something that can give us a lot of benefit. Later in the slide, I'll explain about the why companies are focusing on work from home right now. So uh, here it becomes like you are not going to a company, you are not sitting there and learning from your seniors. You are simply virtually sitting somewhere in the part of India, and you are working for a company and giving revenue to that company, or maybe whatever the work you've been assigned, you are doing that. So there becomes a skill, one of the very crucial parameter. So any company right now, they are hiring, they are looking into two things. If at all this candidate is not been trained, is he able to do the job? And what is the guarantee that the efficiency of this person is going to be more, even if I don't give a lot of training, even if there is a drastic situation, I cannot give a training to this guy. So this has completely been a revolution. It has brought to the way of recruitment actually. So yeah, a skill is ability to perform action, or a result is the determine the result of a good execution kind of thing. That is taken from Wikipedia, so I'm not going to tell the definition actually. So yeah, as I told, most of the students, most of the people present here are from engineering background, so branches of engineering. So we'll be touching about all those branches today, and we'll be discussing more about this. Yeah. So guys, how many of you know about industry 4.0? Can you raise your hand? If it is possible to raise your hand, can you raise your hand? How many of you know about what is industry 4.0? Okay, very few, very few. Just 5, 6 candidates have raised their hand. Okay, fine, great. Okay, no problem, not a problem. So, guys, when we talk about the European countries, they started the revolution of the textile revolution. That was kind of the mass production started. So they started with the mass production with very small, very entry level machineries, and that was kind of industry revolution one, where people realized making something with hand or something is not practically possible. So there is a need of a industry where we can mass produce something. Basically, the first revolution was into textile, because European countries are more of famous for their luxury and lifestyle. So their revolution started, but then after came the steam revolution, and many says finally today we are in a revolution, industry 4.0 revolution. So this is a mixture of automation and digitalization. If you say, just to explain you in a very raw way, let's talk about the industry where they are producing a nut and bolt, right? So a very small industry, they are producing nut and bolt. So how to adopt this industry 4.0? So the designers, the engineering designers, they used to, if you talk about industry first, or maybe in the maybe 100 years back. So when the designers used to design something, they used to draw in the drafters, like in your engineering you might have used that one. So they used to store that paper drawing in their store, in their industry. And when they need some rectification in the industry, let's say the nut and bolt, they started producing, and there is some defect and they want to change the design. So what they do is they have to search for that paper, and again they will see the design parameters, and they will again redesign that. After that it came, that was very hectic. Like, you can imagine, like, there are thousands of designs stored in a space, and if you want to search for a particular design, then you have to go and search those designs. Then it came, the companies started storing that in hard drives. Now you can imagine, if every day the designers are doing at least 20 GB of designs, or maybe 50 GB of designs over the year, how much GB they would consume, and over the years how much GB they will be consuming. So the use of storage space used to be a big problem. After that, today it is purely cloud based. Let's say I'm designing something, I'm a designer, so I can simply, let's say I'm working in XYZ company, and I have a cloud space for the design department. So when I do some design of a part of a big machine example, so I'll give a part name, and I'll give there is a particular destiny code, and I'll put that in the cloud. So after maybe 10 years, let's say the machine has some problem and they want to change the design, and today the company is not manufacturing that 10 years back, let's say that the particular part. So what I'll do, I'll simply enter the code, and I'll get the design from the cloud itself, and I can redesign, or maybe I can remodify, or I'll send it for the manufacturer, and I'll get it done. So this is one part. Second, if I have a design I have put in the cloud, and I advise my machine system, okay, you assign this particular design, or maybe generate the CAM design into and feed it to a CNC machine. Automatically it will manufacture, or it will find out which machine is free or idle time of a machine, and automatically it will assign to some particular machine, and their manufacture will be done. This is kind of a automation, automatic manufacturing processes. So it is something kind of industry 4.0. But when you talk about industry 5, the advanced version of all what I explained, that comes in the industry 5.0. So in today, whole world is industry 4.0, but India, it took quite a long time to adopt this industry 4.0. But however, good news of this pandemic, in this pandemic, India also adopted this industry 4.0 digitalization, automation very fast. Because if you remember in 2020, when this lockdown imposed, and this lockdown started lifting up, then government advised start working, and they advise the companies to start with 25% of manpower. That time, can you imagine a company which was running with a full capacity and manufacturing full capacity, working with a 25% of manpower was practically not possible. So few of the industries, they took special permission, but 100% of the industry, they couldn't take a special permission to work with a 100% of capacity, and that was very risky. So what they did is they adapted this automation and digitalization. There was no other way but to adapt these things. And today, if you talk, there is a 20% reduction of the dependency on the manpower. So if a company used to work with 100 people, today they are working with 80 numbers of people with a better efficiency or better production capability. So this is something changed. So anyway, so this is already industry 4.0. I think you got an idea. Why I'm explaining about industry 4.0, I'll be telling you in the later slides. So different branches and different skills. So this is not something very important slide, but I think you guys, if you are related to some other branches, then In a mechanical, if you talk about design, CNC, MATLAB, engineering, drawing, these are a few skills. And electrical engineering, circuit designing, develop electrical, schematics, data collection, computer science, then civil engineering, automobile engineering, electronics engineering. These are all few set of core skills that is required for any engineering student. And these are all not, these are on the whole list of the courses or skills, just as standard skills. So you don't have to worry if you don't know about it, or maybe if you don't find this very useful. But these are all the, at least for to the standardized skills for every branches. Well, so as I told you, the problems of the traditional industry, guys. I would request everyone to be in the session till the end, because whatever I am explaining in the slides, I'll be concluding them in the later slides. So I'll be telling how these slides are relatable to all those things. Because if you talk about the traditional industry and today, what is, how the change has happened, that somehow relates to the way companies are hiring to the freshers. So traditional industry, these are all kind of in brick and mortar models. There, finding a data was very difficult. Finding if you talk about engineering system, so the link between the one department to others, that was very slow. There was no cloud-based SAP systems. As I told, data management was big issues. The getting the raw materials was a big problem. Tracking them was big problem. If at all a company have multiple branches in different states or different places, tracking the profitability and usability of those things, that was a big problem. Things have completely changed through this digitalization right now. So it was very ineffective, inefficient. So if you talk about every year, the way we used to, the way the company used to operate, every year that is changing. So these are all few defect, the issues with the traditional industry, but those things has completely changed. You can see here, system 1 is the traditional, system 2, simply there were multiple system between this system 1 to system 2. Whereas if you talk about the modern industry, there is simply electronic data transport, nothing else involved here in system 2, right? So this is how we are solving the modern industrial problems. Anyway, so as I told you the first slide about the industry 4.0, what are the few skills that a student or maybe as a potential candidate you need to have, right? So these are all not something into engineering things, but these are all today's key parameters are taken into consideration as a one of the big parameters of hiring a student. One has to be team leader and a team player. Why? As I told, things are completely interlinked right now. If you are not a team player, then probably the efficiency or effectiveness won't be there. So you have to be a team player to become a perfect fit for any industry. Analytical ability, that is probably the big thing today. If you are a graduate, if you think that analyzing and decision taking abilities are poor for you, so probably you will be a maybe you'll really face a lot of difficulty into getting a job. Critical thinking, why critical thinking is very important? Critical thinking is something good. Just a second, guys, just a second, just a second, guys. Yeah, so yeah, critical thinking, innovations, attention to the details, problem solving abilities, all these things are something, a few of the parameters for any recruiter to hire a candidate as a whole. So why this is related to industry 4.2? As I told, industry 4.0 is something that is advanced to the process of the process industries and service industries. If a candidate is not advanced as such with this all abilities, then he may not fit to the right industry and with the right skills. So these are all the few parameters that any candidate must be having to get into any sort of industry. There is no specific to a technical industry or non-technical industry, right? So there are few skills today leading in the industry. So there are few of the list, but this is not again the complete list of those things. But artificial intelligence, machine learning, today they are booming in the market. So these skills are completely used by any industries. If you talk about automotive industries, also there are. You might have heard about MG's new vehicle where AI, I think AI assistant will be used. So for the first time in automotive, also the AI is one of the plays a very significant role. Machine learning, few of the vehicles they have the machine learning, so they understand the way a driver is driving. So machine learning, robotic process automation, RPA, one of the widely used skill probably. If you are happen to be a student of RPA, probably you will be saving a job for you in any industry today. Virtual reality and augmented reality, there's a it's booming right now, but probably after 10 years you'll see everywhere this AR and VR will be taken prevailed actually. Blockchain or crypto, I think you might be aware of that. So blockchain is something that is changing the world in a way. The revolution has started already. India is also big consumer of the blockchain and the cryptocurrencies. So this is something that is going to change the way we look into a data, or maybe the way we used to see the transactions. That is going to change. IoT, obviously, this is needed for everyone. 5G technology, cyber security, then electric vehicle. So coming back to guys, today we are in a era where the transition is happening from normal automotive industry to electric vehicle industry. Probably in another 20 years, you will see that 30 to 40% of the vehicle running on the road will be on electric vehicle. Uh, the 10 skill comes the designing and analysis. So this is one field probably if you are happen to be a mechanical student, then this is for you good news for you that designing and analysis is still one of the highly demanded skills in the industry. If you look into any industry, the designing and R&D has to be there, and if you are good in these things, then probably you are saving a job for you. So these are one of the final list of the leading skills, but these are top few skills that is required in the market. If you see the everyday's opening or maybe job as a whole. Well, in the first slide, I was explaining about how the pandemic and the industry has changed. So there are a few points, guys, I have listed, but again, this is not the whole list, but a few of the list to give you an idea. Adaptation, automation, digitalization, already I have explained about that. Decrease in the human involvement by 20%. Guys, let's say a company used to, as I told before, if a company used to run with 100 manpower, today they are working with 80 manpower, but producing even more than producing and operating in a high efficiency. So industry 4.0 already adapted. Demand of pre-skilled candidate increase. What is pre-skilled actually? So if you talk about 10 years back, when a graduate used to engineering student used to graduate, they used to have normal degree or maybe a CGPA. But today the CGPA matters. Probably the 50%, other 50% is all about the skill. Any recruiter will ask you what are the courses that we've done, or maybe what are the internships we've done, or what are the work you've already involved in when you are doing engineering. It's not that simply you can say, okay, I'm a graduate or maybe I'm an engineer without nothing. So pre-skill is something candidate having some skill before even applying for a job. So that is pre-skilling, and that the demand has boomed actually over this time. And less dependency on physical presence, work from home. Already I explained. So how this work from home has changed the way people are hiring today. First thing, you are not going to sit with a senior to learn. You have to be a fast learner. You have to be a quick learner to learn those things and start working for the company and start providing the way the company used to hire GT and GETs, graduate training engineers, and the way they used to provide the training, that is a decrease like over the 50% right now. So if you don't have any skill, so companies won't really compare your profile with someone who is having already skills. So whom you will hire? Simple question. If at all there are two candidates, one having required skill in this resume, already has worked with several internship, or maybe he has done a multiple courses on that particular skill, and you are someone having a simple graduate, no additional skill. So whom he will hire? Simply to the first candidate, because company is not going to spend a lot of time and energy or maybe money training that guy, because he's a quick learner, because he has some knowledge. With the additional set of on job experience, on job training, he may explore those things. So he's the potential candidate to be hired. Next, lower overhead and high profit margins. Work from home has given a lot of profit to a company, because the overhead expenses is get down to over 30% for every company. So that's a big margin for any big scale companies. So this work from home is going to be continued for a longer time. Actually, company has seen a huge profit margin in this work from home. So again, the why I'm telling that, because the hiring potential hiring and the way companies are hiring to the candidates, same thing will be continued for a longer time. It's not that after pandemic probably things will change. No, it's not going to change because the overhead margin has increased, the profit margin increased. So companies would like to continue in the same way they are doing right now. So as training to a fresher decreased extensively, the training to a fresher in the companies used to be one of the big parameter for the companies and for the HR department. They used to spend a lot of money. That has completely come down right now. So here it comes. If you are not pre-skilled, if you are not a potential candidate with the right skills in your hand, getting a job is going to highly difficult for you. So it's a high time for every one of you. If you are a graduate or maybe looking for a job, you need to have right skill. If you are looking for, okay, I'll be getting into automotive industry or maybe electrical vehicle industry or to any industry, okay, you need to have those skills in your hand to get into even to get a call even from the department. I'll tell you an example. Like Skyrider is right now they are providing the placement for the PG diploma students. You won't believe, let's say we are sending 10 profiles to any company, only one or two are getting right calls because they have done multiple interviews even before they have joined to Skyrider. So this is how the way of hiring has completely changed. So and the people who don't have anything in their resume, like we are, we have been seeing many freshers been sending their profiles to us, for different kind of vacancies in different companies. You won't believe, like we simply scrap those resumes. We don't even see these resumes if you are not listing your skill set in that, or maybe you are not listing the internship that you have done, or you are not listing the courses you have done. Simply those resume are not for our use. If you write your 10 score, 12 score, and finally you write your degree score, who cares that? Everyone does that. What are the other extra thing that you are offering in your resume? That matters. So this is something highly efficient because companies are right now, they're not actually loving to train candidates. They are looking for people who are already trained somewhere, right? Automation, autonomous industry management, this is a simple animated representation. So people are looking for, companies are right now working automatic. So obviously the requirement for manpower or maybe the people they are hiring, they have to be that smart to adapt this as soon as possible and get into the fit into the autonomous industries and produce, or maybe make it more efficient or at least manage the efficiency. So you have to be smart enough, you have to upgrade yourself to fit into this kind of industry. This is just a graphical representation to make this understanding better. So guys, you can see here change of the impact of automations in the industry. You will see these numbers, like blue color represent 2015 and red color in 2021. The numbers been increased. So in India, you can see, yeah, yeah. So about, yeah, exactly. Hello, Siddhant, my voice audible? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay. Yeah. So if you see the change in the numbers of the IT and the BPO workers, these are the statistics where you'll see the Philippines, UK, India, US, and others. The way India is developed over the years, that is something very remarkable. And if you see the numbers in 2015, 2021, there is not a big difference. Whereas if you see about the other countries, India stands at a very great position in this sector. So guys, here you can see the numbers of the work from home and the occupation wise. So this is a statistic where you'll see the front level workers, like or I'll say the people who are working in the brick and mortar model, barber, farmer workers, and the work from home is not has implemented in such a bigger way. But if you see in the other countries, the work from home, the it shows that numbers of work from home in a week, that has been bigger in other countries, whereas in India it is very few. But again, if you see this 5% is also probably a big number that you see across. So this number is going to increase in the futures. So there is a potential of this work from home culture is going to increase. It is in 2018. Probably this number might have increased in this over the years. Probably this 5% to probably 30%. This is the old data taken from a newspaper. but this number is going to increase still. There's a huge percentage of the in Indian economy who still work in the traditional sectors or traditional way. That is which is going to change in over the years, and that is going to take a big a change in the way we look into the jobs. Guys, so startup opportunities. I told more about your the opportunities into I mean job prospect. If you see the startup opportunity that has changed over the years, probably in this pandemic, you can see the food delivery has changed by 30 to 40%. It is a data of 2020. Grocery by 10%. But if you see telemedicine and online learning, that is grossed like 1,000 times, and online learning is 63%. So if you are someone looking to start your own startup after this pandemic, and if you are thinking so which field should be the greatest field to start your startup, you can see that technological field is 3.3%. That is grown, and other things that is dropped. Previously, those things, the fields where people used to rely most to do their startup, that is dropped, whereas the technology and social and emotional things that has increased. Social and emotional. If you talk about like your one of the things is your OTT platforms and use of maybe use of social medias. All those things comes into that. But technology, there is a huge marginal change, and the potential is going to increase. So if you are a entrepreneur, maybe you want to start into something, then technological field is one of the best field to start right now after this pandemic. Okay, and obviously it's good news for engineers that because these things are going to increase, the numbers of job are also going to increase over the time in this particular sectors. So guys, coming back to a few of the jobs, very highly that has increased over the time right now in recent years, or maybe recent months actually. So if you talk about the content designers, graphics produce design, the demand is boom like anything over the time actually. So you'll say, sir, how this is possible? But if you search for the jobs into this, then the top listing comes into the people who are into into social media or digital marketers. That has boomed over this in this pandemic. The companies who used to be as a traditional marketing into, they have gone into the digital marketing. So the use of content designers, graphics designers, video producers, all those, that is boomed actually. Automotive service engineers, in this pandemic, people started avoiding the public transport. The number of sales of the vehicles, two-wheeler, four-wheeler, that boomed. 2019 used to be the best worst year for automotive sectors. 2020, having this pandemic, but the number increased up to 20% of sales of vehicles. In 2021, the number boomed like anything. That is the best year for automotive sectors. The service engineers demand is increasing every day. If you are happen to a mechanical or automotive engineers, then probably you should be considering to get in the knowledge into automotive. Probably you can get a job into maintenance sectors. Automation engineers, obviously, over the every industry that it is booming, and it's obviously that is going to be more in futures. Robotics engineers, definitely, as I told, the adaptation robotics and IoT has boomed specifically after this pandemic. Then probably if you are looking for that, then you can go. And software developers, UI and UI and UX designers, obviously there is a boom. But along with that, this is not the final list, but yeah, it's one of the list that has taken from the recent job trends in leading job platforms. But these are all few of the trends. So guys, these are all about these are all a few about the job trend. But why I'm telling about all this, I'll be telling about one of the things, like if you are happen to be a mechanical engineer, so probably it will help you out. So guys, can we have a poll right now? How many of you are engineers right now? Can you raise your hands? Okay, go on. How many of you are engineers? Please raise your hands. Okay, quite good number of students. And okay, fine. Well, can you please lower the hands? Well, so how many of you are not engineers? Can you please raise your hands? Okay, very few. So most of you are engineers, I guess. Okay, great. So yeah, that's why the whole session was based out of based for engineers actually. So guys, I'll be I would, there are a lot of students who are asking about the what are the opportunities for engineering student and mostly for the students who are into automotive mechanical. So out of the job leading courses developed by Skyrider and the team, so one of the courses is the PG diploma in automotive designing and manufacturing. This is the course. I'm sure that Siddhant will explain more about it, but this is one of the courses that is giving 100% placement into core industries. I'll tell you a scenario right now. The getting a job into core industries. If you talk about, all the slides that I explained right now, you might not have seen the demand of core industries right now. That is dropped actually. So if you are a potential candidate looking for a core sector job, and probably you'd be struggling hard to get into a job because the numbers of job opening into a core sectors are really less, and that was the scenario even before pandemic. And after pandemic there is not a very drastic change has happened. But the people right now, they are, if they are not getting a job, they're switching to different sectors. But Skyrider has developed one of the flagship program associated with many industries, PG diploma in automotive designing and manufacturing, where the student gets a chance to get into a core sector by learning from the professionals. And this is a 100% placement course. If you are happen to be a candidate who wants to get into some dream university after your graduation, or maybe if you want to get into some foreign university for your high studies, probably this course is one of the finest course. I'll just, a part of this, I'll just tell you guys, if you are looking for a high study right now, let me tell you guys, I'm sure that you know about the high study things, but in foreign universities, not like Indian university that you need to have a great score to get into the top university, or maybe the GATE exam or some exams, IITs, NITs. They see your scores first. If you are good enough in the scores, then you probably will be called, even though you don't have any extracurricular activities in your hand. But if you talk about foreign universities, if you don't have a skills in your hand, or maybe if you are not active in the extracurricular activities, then probably you'll land into a big problem getting in a top university. You won't be getting, because they would be simply hiring candidates who don't have any skills, because they see, if I am hiring a guy, or I'm taking a guy, what service he can provide to my country. So this is their main aim actually. So if your profile is filled with a lot of things, paper publication skills, internships, probably you will be getting a top university. Again, coming back to the PG diploma, guys, this is one of the flagship program developed by Skyrider. Here, this is a 8 months of program. Will be the batch is starting on 20th September. This is a 6 month of online and 2 months of offline program. In these 2 months, you'll be doing a complete practical at our campuses. I'll show you those things. So 100% placement, as I told. Top university admits. So we'll help you to get into top university by providing you 20 plus skills and live projects. So this is a course where you will be learning about designing, automotive skills, electric vehicle, manufacturing, CAD, MATLAB, simulating multiple courses, mostly into 16 plus skills, all total to 16 plus courses and 20 plus skills. Okay. And eligibility is, you need to have a 2019, 20, 21, and 22 graduate with at least 60% of CGPA and not more than 2 backlogs. You can apply for the program. So I'll just show you the certificate. This is a powered by Centurion University, one of the leading Indian Australian based university, where you'll be getting a PG diploma certificate, which is globally accepted. Second certificate you are going to get from Skyrider is a participation certificate from from Skyrider, and third certificate will be internship letter, complete 8 months of internship from Skyrider. So you'll be getting a complete 8 months. So my point is saying that if you are a graduate and you have a career break, then probably this will meet your career break, because today career break is one of the big threat for any graduate. If you are a normal graduate and if you have a career break, then you need to have a experience letter as an internship letter also, that will meet your, that will manage your profile, and you probably can get a good job. So these are all the glimpse from the PG diploma batch, that people are making vehicles, they are making different practicals, about the guest lectures from Mercedes. These are a few practicals at the TVS batch, and these are all the vehicles made by the PG diploma students during their courses. So there's a multitude of courses, a completely 2 months of whole practicals. Here you'll be learning about 2-wheelers, 4-wheelers, heavy commercial vehicle, electric vehicle, MATLAB simulating, CAD, CAM, CAE, manufacturing, all those things. So the mentors will be from various industries having 15 plus years of experience, and best part of this course is you'll be getting 100% placement. So you can apply that, and Mr. Siddhant and his team will help you out getting understand about the courses. So I suggest if you are a graduate and if you are looking for a job into core sector and happen to be a mechanical and automotive engineer, then you should be applying for this course. But guys, to summarize everything as a whole, first thing first, if you are a not a if you are a graduate and or maybe you are in final year or maybe third year and you're looking for a job right now, or maybe you are looking for a job in a year of time, first thing you have to start with skilling yourself. If you are not skilling, upskilling yourself, things are going to be very, very difficult. People having normal CVs or resume, even they are not getting calls from interviewers. To get a call, even you need to have those skills in your hand. So start learning, start doing internships, start doing courses. So you can probably consider Skyrider as one of the platform for those courses. If not Skyrider, somewhere else, but start doing that from today. Second, if you're already a graduate and you are already graduate in 2019, 20 or 21, still looking for a job and are not looking not getting a job, don't search for job and don't just waste your time in putting your resume in different industries or sending into different people and looking for references. Start learning. Probably you can help yourself by learning yourself and reskilling yourself. Today reskilling and upskilling has highest value in industry. Maybe before 3-4 years, or maybe if you talk about 5 years back, if you have a 1 year of career back and you are not doing anything, probably they would consider, okay, fine, I can take this guy and he will be skilled. But today, if you have career back of even 6 months and not doing anything, that is even dangerous than that is really dangerous for your profile. So forget about 1 year and 2 years. If at all you have a career break, don't be sad about it. Don't get frustrated about it. Start doing some courses or start learning somewhere, or maybe start joining as internship. Maybe it's a free internship. Start joining that one. So that will meet your the career break, and that will manage your profile. Companies will be seeing your profile. They will understand. Okay, fine. Due to pandemic, maybe he was not able to do a job. But after that, he has started doing some internship and he has a quite good amount of experience. So that matters right now. Third thing, if you are a graduate looking for a higher studies in abroad and planning to go for your GRE, giving your GRE and TOEFL, you can always do that. You can always give your exams, but try to understand that is just 30% of the whole criteria. So there are various parameters. You need to have a good profile into curricular activities, good into projects, good into skills, good into courses, good into paper presentations. Maybe if you have a publications, that is wonderful. So all those things, start working on them. GRE, TOEFL, these things are not so difficult exams that you cannot clear. That is fine, but you start building a profile with multitude of courses. If you are a mechanical and automotive engineers, probably you should be considering joining the PG diploma courses. That can help you with, maybe if you are looking for a higher study, then this will help you like anything. You don't have to do anything because everything will be provided by Skyrider. If you are a candidate who is looking for to get into any industry, this will help you to get a job. And if you are a candidate who is not into this mechanical or automotive, and start doing short-term courses. Like short-term courses also helpful. If you are not able to spend a lot of money, don't do that. Spend less amount of money, do a course and start joining some internship. Internships are widely available. You can go and get internship in Internsala. Many other platforms are there. You can search for internship and do. Today, AICTC has opened, they have opened their internship platforms. You can find internship there. Don't hesitate to learn for internship. That is highly, highly, highly efficient. Courses, internship, and skills. These three are the prime skill for you right now to get into a core sector job, or maybe to a great MNC job, or maybe to a higher study. These are all very important things, guys. So I think I'm done with the session. So thank you very much for joining. So we'll be taking more sessions like this. And if you have any doubt, stay here. You can